Alright, welcome to Cobalt Black Gaming, daily indie coverage to show you guys those hidden and not so hidden gems. If that's the kind of content that sounds like something you would like, subscribe for more. Anyways, today, we're going to be taking a look at Ember Blade. This game's demo actually really surprised me. So we're going to be stepping in here, and it is a survivor-like, or horde survivor, whatever you like to call it, action roguelite, where there is a lot of dialogue. Everything is voiced in this game, which was very interesting. But B, there's a lot of actual action hack and slash gameplay. So, first things first, we're going to take a look here.
Let me mention that too. What does being recognized mean?
Exactly what it sounds like. The arbor
seems the arbor
In return, the arbor likely granted you a new grace.
Okay.
Now, if you'll excuse
So,
that for someone else, she has other matters to attend to.
Oops.
Yeah, this game has a lot of dialogue, which actually I personally find annoying, but, you know, you guys might like it. Not necessarily, I wouldn't even call it story-driven, but like character interaction-driven, which is very interesting. It's kind of how the story unfolds. It is pretty interesting. I'm just, you know, you guys know me if you've been here before, and if you haven't, I skip through a lot of dialogue. I am a indie roguelike player for the most part. I mean, I play all sorts of indie games on the channel, but I like a lot of roguelites, and usually they don't need story for me to care. But yeah, so the meta progression that you just saw there was a big tree. It's your standard fare if you gather currency in the levels and you go spend it on the tree.
Easy there, little guy. Definitely friend. At least I think so.
I'm gonna skip this.
Relics and artifacts, you say?
So
Consider me interested.
basically, at the tree, it's, you know, your classic fare of getting currency during a level and spending it here to get your meta progression. However, as you can kind of see, this has more substantial meta progression in things like a dash attack, you know, extra actual mechanical things. So that's actually pretty interesting, and I really like that because of the simple fact that, you know, it doesn't seem to just be flat stat increases for your meta progression. Don't get me wrong, some of them are fairly, you know, simple, but some of them are a little bit more interesting. So that'll be pretty cool to see as we continue on. What we just unlocked over here, I believe, is the ability to get relics at the beginning of a run, I guess. So birthday cake covers HP each time you level up. We're gonna equip that. And yeah, we're gonna take that and we're gonna go. Yeah, so this is where you can kind of find different relics, and I guess are we gonna recraft it? I don't know if I want to recraft the birthday cake. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Want to see what I made? Special preview just for you.
Yeah, so this is where you can see all the relics you could possibly equip. And those just kind of help you along on your level. Over here is the forge. It's where you make new weapons. That's another part of meta progression.
I was just about to ask you.
So,
Exactly.
as I don't care. So,
Easy enough. Just have to beat them up.
you can make
I don't know.
other weapons. You start with the Sword of Oath. We're gonna use the Wildflower Hammer though, because I don't know, I like the hammer in this game, which is odd. Normally I'm not a big chonkin hammer kind of dude, but yeah. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna come out here and we're gonna get into a run. So far they've all been in the kind of same environment. I imagine that's a demo thing, and yeah, we'll see probably different acts and things later on. So you have your dash, you have your attack. With the hammer, it is quite wide sweeping and powerful. That's why I wanted to play with the hammer. Sword is, you know, it's your standard quick, responsive, but not the most powerful of things. And then I have not played with the dual blades yet. Okay, so there's a magnet shrine. But we'll come back there later.
Taken until you said no offense.
Look, another arbor's reach with a flower bud.
Okay, hold on, give me a second.
Arbor accepted you,
Oh,
so
does that not actually pause it?
sure you're decent enough with your sword,
Yes, it does.
but the arbor must be pretty desperate.
Well, why don't I ignore?
We're gonna do that. Yeah. Because holy crap, they don't shut up. This game is constant talking. It's not a problem if you're playing alone, but if you're doing what I'm doing here and recording a video for people to watch, it is an issue. Yeah, so classic survivor-like fashion, this is kind of how you get your powers. There's a lot of them. They all have very interesting names. It's not just something simple. This is a meteor, but it's called Crush on You. And you'll see why. It's like a weird rose meteor that comes down. Yeah, it turns into flowers. So this game, I really like it because of the art style is crazy. I like the art style. I like the take on this kind of fantasy setting, where it's not just this very simple, you know, high fantasy rigmarole. Don't get me wrong, I love high fantasy. Or, you know, I'm never gonna say I don't. But I think the setting that they went with for this is very interesting, because I couldn't tell you what day and age it's set in, even if you asked. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna go with drop the loot. Yeah, we summoned a giant loot now that does damage when it hits stuff and it pulses. Oh, looks like, yeah, we're gonna talk to him. So Uriel, Angel of Hammer and Might, he's the one who gave me drop the loot, and now he's going to give me some other things. So yeah, in typical, you know, roguelite fashion of getting your power-ups, in this one it's angels, so it's not quite the same as before. We got Viper Overdrive, which is essentially like it's like a fissure that goes through the ground and kind of chains to enemies, so that's cool. All of the deities that give you your power in this are angels, so it's not your similar, you know, either fae or god kind of fare. Okay, we're gonna take Wild Flirting, which is just those that just shot out and kind of roamed around and killed stuff for me. So yeah, that's another thing that I find really cool. If you notice, I keep switching between my hammer and my crossbow. The cool part about this game is the crossbow is an auto attack weapon. So I'm not doing anything. I'm playing this like I would any other survivor-like, just pure survivor-like. But if I want to, I can do a little bit more damage and actually interact with the other systems in the game and use the actual attacks. Now, I find the crossbow is actually kind of okay to deal with most of the hordes. I would always, you know, use your real action weapon, but you could probably get away with crossbow for the hordes if you wanted to. But where your primary attack comes in is with the elites and the bosses. The boss fights in this are actually fairly involved for a game that's a survivor. Like, they are much more your action roguelike kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna go with the Adrenaline Rush, because we have a slow attacking weapon, technically. The hammer's pretty fast, but, you know. So that gives me a buff every 5 seconds when I land 5 attacks. Yeah, as you can see, you know, it does still have that similar kind of style of any other horde survivor or survivor-like, where I'm kind of going from task to task and battling back these hordes of demons. Remiel is the Angel of Lightning and Thunder. Lightning has a weird kind of hook in this game. Lightning is she's also like the Angel of Gambling, so all of it is coin-based as well, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see how that goes. The coins are how you level while you're in the run. So I just picked a slot machine. That is what she gives you, but the slot machine's kind of cool. It's more like a totem. There it is. And it does electric damage to things around it. And then when it stops spinning, if it is all on the same thing, you win a jackpot, like an actual slot machine, and it will just give you a bunch of coins. So I kind of always take that because it's damage and XP rolled into one thing, which I will always go for in one of these kind of games. All right, we got drop the loot, we got rumbling crescendo, love flare. We're gonna just go with drop the loot. We're gonna level what we have. We don't necessarily need more things. So now I drop 2 loots. Uh-oh. On this weapon, those birds are bad news. And the sword, you can actually fight back those hordes of birds that just come running at you out of nowhere. But with this one, it's a little slow, so it's not quite possible. So right now, I don't see a specific task for me to do. I'm just gonna kind of hang out, getting some XP, trying to get stronger. I'm gonna go with Righteous Bladefall. I know I said I wasn't gonna grab any more, but I really like Righteous Bladefall. It's cool. It's the exact flavor of power I like, right? It's swords falling out of the sky into your enemies. See that giant one in the ground? Love it. Every time. So yeah, this game feels very good. And that's kind of what surprised me about it, is it does feel super good to play. It feels very smooth, and it flows very well, which is kind of what I look for in an action roguelike. So it feels really good in this kind of action horde survivor hybrid that we have going here. I'm actually really excited for this to hit early access and then, you know, subsequently 1.0. Because this is, if you watch the channel, you know this is right up my alley. While I do all indie roguelikes and non-roguelikes, just some regular indie games, survivor likes and action roguelites are kind of my 2 biggest things I cover. Probably followed by auto battlers and then deck builders. All right, we're gonna go with the slot machine because, I don't know, I just got the jackpot from the last one, so why wouldn't I want more jackpot? That's the thing, I always take the slot machine because it's helping me progress rather quickly, which is nice. Actually kind of wondering where I need to be going. I don't see a header, so I think I'm fine just doing nothing and amassing power. There we go. We are going to go with Crush on You. Get those rose meteors really dealing some damage. Yeah, and I think what I like about it is what it combines the engaging gameplay of an action roguelite, so, you know, having to actually be tuned in to your dodges and your attacks and things like that you don't necessarily have to do in every horde survivor, but it combines it with the power fantasy of the horde survivor, where, you know, I'm wandering around, but I got meteors falling out of the heavens, I got these weird slot machines just dropping loot for me, I have loots dropping, destroying my enemies, you know, which isn't necessarily a fantasy you get when you are just playing action roguelites, you know? They tend to keep things a little bit more grounded. Obviously, in action roguelites, I think it's more dependent on the build. If you're able to think of and get to some sort of OP combo, you can get like this, but not quite as flashy, right? And I think that's a big part of the survivor roguelike scene, and a huge thing that people like about it is how flashy it is. And you know, let me know in the comments if you prefer your survivor likes to be a lot more minimalist, right? Because I think you have on one side, you have your soul-sown survivors enjoyers, where the screen is practically assaulting your eyes constantly, which I love. And then, you know, you have your more simple ones where you just kind of, you shoot, and then maybe your power-up is that you shoot faster instead of, what if the whole screen was fire and lightning? And I think both of them have their merits, you know? I think definitely on days when I just kind of want that good old dopamine without much intricate gameplay, that's when I'm playing Soulstone Survivors, you know? That's when I'm using one of my old favorite builds, and I'm just mixing up a combo that is going to absolutely destroy my frame rate and make my computer struggle, right? But on other days, when I'm like, I want to play a Survivor, like, but I want that engaging roleplay or gameplay, you know, that is when I hit up your Deadly Days Survivors, where a lot of it is careful pathing and thinking about how you're setting up your backpack for the maximum amount of impact on your run and the maximum amount of power. I think there's a different kind of style for everybody, but I think this does a very good marriage of the two, where it is, I get that power fantasy, I get that, oh, my slot machine just paid out. I get that power fantasy, but I get it along with my action side, where I can be really engaged with this combat, dodging and attacking and things like that. Because I think that is what the Survivor-like genre is missing, and it's why, you know, they've more recently started doing the whole task thing, where you've got to go here to interact with this and there to interact with that. Sure, most of the tasks end up being just stand in this circle while you're killing stuff. But now that I have a button to mash while I'm doing that, it changes what it feels like. Let's give him a good old spin to win. That was my special. On the hammer, it's a spin to win, and then that last blue part that kind of exploded, that is the same way the special is on any weapon, or so far, let me rephrase, I can't say any weapon, on the sword. All I've played is the hammer and the sword, so I'm not gonna say things that I don't necessarily know. Alright, let's keep wandering, because I want to see if I just, like, haven't been finding, yeah, I haven't been finding things because I haven't been moving, which is okay. I would imagine that I am quite strong. Alright, let's give her the good old special. Ooh, I don't want to be in whatever that is. Why? That wasn't cool, lady. I don't know what kind of gunk came out of you, but I don't want it touching me. Drop the loot on her. So I'm actually glad I did kind of see the red mist for a while there and go off and just kind of kill hordes, because I'm much stronger than I have been previously on fighting these early bosses. And that is kind of the thing I'm noticing there's a balance on, is like, yeah, I need to know when to just sit back and play that Survivor-like to gain that power, and then you come fight your bosses and your mini-bosses, and that's where the action roguelike really shines through, right? Okay, here, we're gonna go here into the shop. Alright, so this is what the shop is like. Harvest Blade. When defeating monsters, main weapon damage and critical chance increase. Main weapon damage increases by 0.03% per kill, up to 600%. That's crazy. Hold on, can I can. Okay, we're gonna look at the other stuff. I'm seeing stars right now, but we're gonna make sure we get the best thing for us, and I think it's that. I think it's, yeah. Let's talk to you. Why do you want to talk? Yeah, I had to turn off the voice acting. Don't get me wrong, I actually really like that everything is voice acted, and it's voice acted fairly well, too. It is just, you know, when you are trying to... narrate and kind of commentate on the gameplay and everything, it is very annoying that there's banter every 2 seconds. Alright, so my main weapon should be getting stronger and stronger now, which is exactly what I want to have happen. So, I believe, and I have not actually just like sat in a run for as long as I'm trying to do right now, but I do believe that we're gonna go with Enduring Aegis. That's what I believe. I do believe that as the longer you're in here, the more intense it gets, at least I think. That is what it's at least feeling like currently, right? So I could be wrong, but... I'm gonna let that just keep going. Wow, that thing is casting repeatedly. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like having things that are now double casting. That is always a good time. And that shows me that they have very interesting items and powers and things, right? Because that kind of gives you that little bit of, yeah, maybe you don't want to fully level every single one of your powers all the time. Okay, I just took a lot of damage there that I didn't need to take. I think I was invincible for that attack. Like in an iframe? Your dodge gives you iframes, so it is more like an action roguelite in that sense, than it just repositioning you, which is very nice. And in this game, you need it. You know, this guy is really giving me a run for my money here. And by run for my money, I mean he's hurting me. And the last one didn't really do that. He is going to be dead, though. We're going to be going in here, actually, and turning down just all the audio. Because the sound effects are a little loud as well. I'm going to turn down the ambient. Oh, boy. Please don't. Okay, cool. There we go. That feels more manageable now. Question is, do I want to go in and try to buy more things? And I think the answer is yes. I think more items with this kind of power that I am obtaining would be amazing. We're definitely going to go with Righteous Bladefall. Why wouldn't I? Okay. I think that shouldn't be a hold. Purely because I'm getting, like, fully assaulted. Holding is getting me hit. Increase critical chance of main and sub weapons by 10%. Increases main weapon mastery by 30%. Okay. Each time a melee attack hits, reduce blessing cooldown time. That's insane. Recover 100 HP. Alright, I don't think I need to recover anything. Recoverer. Increase max HP by 100. What do we got? How much do I have? Let's just buy this Bad Larry first. Because this is insane. Then can I get anything good over here is the question. Recover. I don't care about recovering. Increase. Yeah, we'll increase by 25. That seems good. Man, ever since playing Absalom now, in any game, I'm like, oh man, I have to talk to. Wait a minute, I can hit this tree. This is interesting. Okay. So let that be known. Hitting the tree gives you extra monies for in here. I wish I knew that, because now I would have had enough to get the extra 100 HP, but I didn't know that. So the more you know, guys. We're gonna exit. We're gonna go on back. Yeah, so like, right, you're not going to be playing a regular action roguelite and hit this power fantasy point where the whole screen is just being deleted constantly. So that thing is, that is really cool to me, and I'm really happy about it. I cannot wait till this comes out, actually. I'm very psyched about this game. This game grew on me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of the protagonist. He reminds me of Titus from Final Fantasy X. Which I would argue is the worst part of Final Fantasy X. But aside from that, I've been really enjoying the game itself. Plus, you know, who doesn't like this non-standard take on like these powers, right? Like the lightning is gambling and kind of gives you the coins. And then Uriel with like the shadow or whatever comes in with the instruments, and it's all music themed. Like it's a really interesting take on all of it, and that is kind of what I enjoy. And Michael is swords, so she's going to give me this. And this is what I want. I would love to find a magnet before I go fight the main boss that I'm about to go handle. Ooh, I've never leveled up this high before. Okay, so that is a full... That's a fully leveled up lightning slot machine. And you see they turned colors, and 4 of them spawn at once, and that one is just absolutely raining coins. Let's see if we can find a magnet. Because otherwise I'm just leaving a whole lot of XP on the table. And, like, don't get me wrong, I don't need all the XP. Clearly I'm doing pretty powerful, and I don't have an issue hurting things. I mean, these guys have been falling one after another. Oh. Okay. Man, I think that guy heard me through the mic and was like, oh, you're talking shit, huh? I gotta watch my dodges. I definitely... Actually, hold on. This is yet another time going to the options. Do you let me turn down the... I guess would be an accessibility or gameplay. Accessibility, just colorblind mode, camera shake. No, I don't want any of that. I need to turn down the particle effects, graphics quality, frame rate, lock cursor. I guess I don't get that. Display damage text, auto skip conversation. We're gonna go with on that. Easy mode is off. Okay. I don't have a way to do that. Interesting. That is something I would definitely like to request from the devs, if this somehow gets to y'all, is this game has a lot of beautiful particle effects, and they're really cool. I can't see when this guy's about to hit me in the chest through all of my own abilities. Right, like right there. Was there a telegraph for that? I don't know. All right, so now I'm having problems staying alive. I was doing fine, and then I got cocky. We're gonna go with non-stop riff. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can just let my abilities handle this dude. There we go. Yeah, we're definitely going to be spending our currency in the shop on healing items, that's for sure. That was brutal. Okay, what can we get, though? Increased blessing projectile counts by plus 50%. When defeating monsters, main weapon damage and critical chance increase. Don't I already have this? I thought I already had that. Where can I check this? Character info... Oh, there. Each time melee hits, okay. When defeating monsters, main weapon damage and critical... Okay. I also wish this would show me what it's done so far. Prevent damage 3 times. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Recover 50 HP. Recover 200 HP. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna do this. I beat this tree. Okay, it looks like that only happens once. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, let's increase the projectile count. Why not? Why not? Let's just make that real strong. Okay, so I have 3 instances of damage that I won't take. I can't even see my character. Alright, we gonna die in here, and it's gonna be because I can't see what's happening. That's what's gonna happen. It's okay, though. We're at 15 minutes. The clock is red. I don't know why. I would love a magnet. My kingdom for a magnet. Okay. We got. Yeah, we got Baphomet. All right. I'm gonna just actually keep my distance from you and see how well that works for me. He moves around quite a bit. All right, dodge away. And the nice part is because of my slot machines, I can keep leveling up in here. Which, that's crazy. To me, at least. Oof. Don't get me wrong. I would have to get a lot of jackpots, and I would have to continuously... yeah, be getting jackpots. So this is the thing with Baphomet. Dude Bro has, like, a lot of moves where I feel like I want, like, 10 dashes, and I have 2, guys. I got 2 of these. So we'll see how well we can make this work. Let's pop a heal, since that is a heal over time, and I'm sure I'll get damaged. Hey, there we go. Like I was just saying, a level up in battle. Let's do it. We're gonna grab some more Enduring Aegis. I feel like I want to not, you know, get destroyed by this man. Okay, let's you be near all of my slot machines, okay? Can you do that for me, pal? Can you please develop a gambling addiction? Thank you. Oh, don't. The nice part about the relic I came in here with, plus these slot machines, is that's great synergy, because I heal when I level up. So all I have to do is keep leveling up while I'm fighting him, and I can get near infinite heals. Alright, let's get the special on him. And he dodged it. That was not annoying at all. Alright. Let's get all the slot machines messing him up. Why are you immune? We don't like that. We don't like those. You have a second phase? Bro, what? What is happening? Ow. Okay. That could have hurt a lot more than it did, to be honest. So we take those. Let's just start my heal. And let's just see if I can really start giving him the business, right? Give me all that XP. You want those level ups? Yeah, you stand in the middle of my everything. Do that, please, and thank you. Especially my swords. Yes! That was what I was hoping for, was that level up. What do we got? Drop the loot and wild flirting. We'll go drop the loot. I don't really know what's hitting him more. But I find that if it is something I can see that's just on the ground permanently, I'll just control where he lands, right? Because he's gonna land trying to hit me. Oh, he got me both times. That was bad for me. Okay, this is we're kind of hitting that this is it point. I'm either gonna get another level up soon or I'm gonna die. I think it's gonna be I'm gonna die. But you know what? We take those. This fight has been really fun, and I have to say, of all the survivor likes I've had, I've never had a boss fight that has felt quite like this in a survivor like, and that is something I really like. That is huge. This feels really good. It feels really fun to play. That feels really responsive. I'm loving it. Also, if you guys are enjoying this kind of content, you made it this far in the video, a like and a sub would be very much so appreciated. And there it was, he hit me. That's okay though. That's okay though. Yeah, non-stop riff was what was really helping me, and frenzied spin. But non-stop, okay, we're always picking non-stop riff. That's what's gonna happen from now on. And like with every roguelite, you just come back here. I don't know what they're talking about, nor do I. Anyways, this has been Ember and Blade. I highly suggest you all go and check out the demo. I'll have a link in the description to it over on Steam. This is really good. I'm impressed. I'm waiting to see what they do with it because this is just a demo. But there's a decent amount of content here, seemingly, and it shows you a good amount of the game, I would think. And I'm definitely excited for this to hit early access. I will definitely be putting it on my wish list and, you know, trying to keep up with it and possibly do another video when more content comes out. If you enjoyed the video, like and sub would be very so appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Peace out.